Strong men, men who are truly role models, don't need to put women down to make themselves feel powerful. Michelle Obama.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty of that as well, like to black men. But I think it's easy to judge someone who's like the same ethnicity as you. So you're instantly like, oh, they're so fiery. You know, that makes them really tough to handle. That makes them crazy. And yeah, because for me, I'm just like, oh, why do black guys always do this? Why do they always do that? And I think it's just a stereotype. Like it really is.
You can't generalize. I say this time and time again. Social media is full of idiots. I've seen people tweet stuff like all black women wear weave. I haven't worn a weave in 4 years. There's so many stupid stereotypes, and men genuinely believe that a race that has millions of women are the same. So we're all aggressive, we're all angry. And I think not only is it ignorance and not going out much and meeting many people, I think it's also what we're seeing on the TV screens as well. You know, like, why can't we have the black equivalent of Lena Dunham in Girls? Why can't she be like a young, quirky, sophisticated woman? She either has to be a Viola Davis, who's absolutely phenomenal, adore her. She either has to be a strong black woman, you know, very independent, very scary, or a woman that's obviously seen as objectified and sexual and animalistic. So it's the media that actually perpetuates these stereotypes as well to make black women look very generalized.
I think that when it comes to degrading black women, I definitely think black men do it the most. And when you say why, it's a difficult question. I think the trend now is to be black but not be black. So I think that, for example, I think we talked about that picture of Kanye West with Kim Kardashian, Beyonce with Jay-Z, Diddy with Cassie. That's like the goal now. It's to have a woman who isn't black but who's a bit black, so maybe a bit tan, maybe has big lips, you know, some sort of black in her. So I think that that's kind of the goal for black men, I think, because the media has put that down. That's what all the famous people are going for. So I think when black men degrade black women, it's usually to put down another type of woman. That's usually how I see it. I see it on Twitter. So that's usually what they do. It will be, oh, black women are so da-da-da this is why I only date white women. This is, oh, Latinas, da-da-da, oh, black women are, you know. So I think they usually put down black women to uplift another race, to try and attain what we've been taught is the goal, really, which is to have a woman who basically isn't black.
If I was to give an example, for example, I've been generally not targeted, but people have looked at me, like black men have looked at me and assumed that I would be a certain type of way because I was black. I didn't grow up in like majority black area. I grew up in a small town. So when I do meet black guys and they speak to me, they're like, oh, you're different, you're like this. So they judged me before they even got to know me, and then when they got to know me, they realized I did judge. So when they say I don't like to date black girls, I think they're just either scared or they've got some deep underlying issues within themselves, within their community, within their family that they need to sort out. Because once you actually test out the theory, you love black women, so you haven't. So why are you mad? Like,
I think there's two parts, because I actually read something or saw something the other day that had it was like a meme or a cartoon, and it basically said that mothers or fathers to some extent will raise their sons to be very dependent and very, not necessarily needy, but you know, to want a lot from a woman, and you know, they're not expected to do a whole lot, whereas they raise their girls to be very straightforward, very independent, very vocal kind of thing. So as children, that can work fine, I guess. I mean, I'm the oldest of like 3 boys. So being the oldest, I was always look after your brothers, do this, cook, clean, blah, 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 blah. 1, I'm the oldest, and 2, yes, I'm a girl. My brothers at the same age didn't have to do that, and it wasn't an issue. It was just, if they laid in bed all day, it was fine. But so as a child, that's one dynamic. But then when you grow up and become an adult, that's now a man who dependency has now become relying on someone who will just do everything for me. And a black woman who's been raised to be more independent now doesn't want to do anything. Not want to do anything, but has to be vocal about the fact that you just want me to do everything? No. So it, you know, it correlates into, oh, well, you're angry all the time. So I want somebody who's not going to be angry at me. And they don't necessarily want to work for it. And that started very early from your mum being, oh, your brother doesn't have to do it, your brother doesn't have to wash the dishes, your brother doesn't have to do anything. So as soon as he comes up against a challenge, which, okay, might come from the roll-necked black girl, he's going to paint every black girl like that. But I think where the problem from the male perspective is then coming from is you're not understanding that dynamic or where she's coming from. She's not necessarily yelling at you or being angry at you for the sake of it. It's coming from somewhere, I've asked you to do this and you're not doing it, so now I'm going to get mad.
Black women, yeah, love to like to give the point across. You know, black women are loud. Black women will tell you how it is. You know, and us black men don't like that. I'll tell you it is. Us black man don't like women, yeah, that will tell us how it is straight, because we got too much pride. You know, so when a black woman, yeah, is telling you wagwan, you know, black man don't like that. You know. It's the same way, like we said, us black women, us black men, yeah, were raised to be the man in the house, yeah? So when a black woman's saying you do this and do that, yeah, listen, we don't like that, you know? So I think it comes down to that, because we see it as if like our mothers are straight, you know? So we say this like, when I see a black girl on the road, she's so annoying, she's angry, she gives you the look, you know, kisses her teeth, yeah, straight away, yeah, that turns her off. She can be pretty, yeah, but at the end of the day, as soon as you look at her, she gives you that dirty look, yeah, you're like, nah. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to, yeah, like certain black girls think they're too nice, you know, and that gives black men a bad impression. They're like, oh, she thinks she's too nice. And that puts certain men, yeah, down.
I personally think that a lot of women generally do have internal issues, self-esteem and everything else. However, it is highly more to do with black females, if I'm honest. But then again, that is only been from personal interaction. If other people have spoke of it, if other people are speaking about it as well, it might be a common thing where this hasn't been plucked out of nowhere. This idea has not been plucked out of nowhere. No one. But then again, it's hard to disagree with this when you do have black women attacking other types of women, and like especially me as being a mixed race guy, if I'm not going out with black women, there must be something wrong with me in their perspective, is how they've interpreted it. So and actually it's quite funny because I do go out with a lot of Indian girls. I've gone out with a lot of Indian girls before, and we've encountered that before, and their reasoning for, this is just a general idea, their reasoning for me going out with Indian girls because they're more subservient, which is not necessarily true. And mostly when I speak to black girls, that's their reasoning behind me going out with someone like that, because they're subservient, because they're not this, they're not that, which isn't true. But it's it's an interesting point to make, because it shows that you're commenting on someone's preference. So you're commenting on someone's preference based on your own opinion, which is wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm black women, I can't do all this, I'm done with it, I'm going to go for a white woman who will listen to me, she will do as she's told. But what good is that in a relationship? You know, it's all about challenges. Challenges could be for the better. Like I said, you could progress from a challenge, and it's just guys that, yeah, like I said, it's a weak-minded because I don't know. Me personally, I never dated outside of my race. Yeah, I've always been with a black woman. And that's just, it's not anything that in particular, like I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, I'm not open to any other race dating, but I just like black women. And then, yeah, I have had numerous relationships where I have been challenged by them. The argument goes and they're not biting their tongue and the whole it's back and forth, but I just deal with it.
I used to think that, you know, black women are hard to handle, whatever, blah, blah, because it's like, that's what I've been through with girls and stuff. But it's, a lot of it is like, you kind of like have to like strip it down to like, what happened to that person? Why is she the way she is?
I think it's definitely self-hatred when you think about it. There's no way you can tell me that you love yourself as a black man and hate black women at the same time, because at the end of the day, these are your sisters. I've got 3 nieces, you know, my mum must, like, it doesn't make sense how you could put down black women and say that you love yourself, because at the end of the day, black women are a reflection of who we are as well. You know, I like to say there's no way that black men will be free until black women are free.